When people discuss 9-time Grand Prix winner Mark Webber, they usually say he was at his best at Red Bull when they were competing for wins and championships. Well, I'd agree that that was definitely the best period for him as a driver, but I disagree that he was in his prime in that era. No, in my opinion, Webber was in his prime in the earlier years of his career, most notably his time at Jaguar. Arguably, his first truly defining moment was his debut at the 2002 Australian Grand Prix, where he finished 5th, scoring Minardi their first points in nearly 3 years. As great a moment as that was for Webber, the team, and Australia, it was pretty much the only notable moment for them that whole season. For 2003, however, Mark had moved across to pastures new. At this point, the Ford-powered Jaguar was a team that seemed permanently stuck in the midfield, achieving only 2 podiums courtesy of 1999 vice-champion Eddie Irvine. By this point, Irvine had retired and Pedro de la Rosa was also left on the sidelines. For 2003, the lean green machine would be driven by Webber in his sophomore season and Antonio Pizzonia in his rookie season. Rounds 1 and 2 seemed to be business as usual, as both drivers qualified outside the top 10, and neither of them would see the checkered flag. Round 3 in Brazil, however, is where Webber's season properly gets going.
Had something to do with it. Mark Webber, good lord, look at that. 4/100ths of a second faster than Rubens Barrichello, and are we going to get a little twist in the tail here in our Friday first qualifying session here for the Brazilian Grand Prix? Mark Webber in the Jaguar, and don't forget that Antonio Pizzonia in the sister car just about 5 minutes ago went P6. Can Webber keep it together, beat his teammate Pizzonia, and even have a go at Rubens Barrichello? Well, Pizzonia's time, 1:25.764, Barrichello's 1:23.249. If Webber dare dream of getting that sort of pace out of the car. Half the lap gone, what's he done in the middle sector?
Well, it looked very, very good, it has to be said. Such a long sector is always difficult to tell, but it looked, and he's quickest of all, again, by some margin, actually. And he really was hustling it through the apexes. So Webber then, I think, is, as you say, going to put a real bit of spice into the end of this Friday afternoon session, as he, I think, will clearly go fastest of anybody. Track getting better and better, but I don't think, yes he does indeed.
Fantastic lap! Well, we had a round of applause for Pizzonia a few minutes ago, but what about that from Mark Webber?
While the Jaguar R4 was equally as fragile as its predecessors, it clearly did not hold him back when it came to qualifying. Mark was fastest in the Friday session and managed 3rd overall the next day. In the race, he was very much in the mix, until the crash on the final corner that became the most well-known moments of Webber's 2003 season. Mark was unfazed by this, however, and also managed a top 5 starting position in Imola, then managed 2 consecutive 7th place finishes, his first 2 points finishes of the season. Let's talk about the second one just quickly. Not only did Webber manage this after a pit lane start, but he also had to take a stop-go penalty due to starting in his regular car, which in these times was against the rules. To add to that, he had the 3rd fastest lap of the whole race. He would beat that best result of 7th 3 total times in 2003. As unreliable as that Jaguar was, Mark seemed on a mission in 03. Type in Mark Webber 2003 on YouTube and most of the videos will be the epic qualifying laps he managed. Highly recommended if you're a fan of those V10 engines. After a mixed season, Mark Webber finished 10th in the final standings with a total of 17 points, the most for any Jaguar driver in the team's fairly short history. While the team couldn't quite put together a car that could consistently challenge for podiums, Webber still made the best of a bad situation. His ability to adapt to a midfield car and put it in these unusual grid positions definitely caught a lot of people's eyes. While 2002 was the year that Webber officially became an F1 driver, 2003 was the year that Webber officially became an F1 star. And had he made a better decision for which team to join in 2005, that potential would undoubtedly have been fulfilled. Before I go, I want to give this week's shout out to Izair on F1, who correctly guessed who this video would be about and what season also. So go subscribe to him. We're quite similar in terms of subscriber count and video count. So it'd be nice for both of us to start moving up the ladder a little bit in terms of numbers. So go subscribe to him. He's got some very, very cool videos and I hope he makes more. So go subscribe to him and subscribe to me if you have not done so already. Like this video if you enjoyed. So as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.